You know when you try to push a beach ball underwater?
Oh,
That stubborn
oh
resistance,
yeah?
the harder you fight it, the more, like, force builds up until it just explodes back up.
Mm-hmm. It's a great image, actually.
Well, that's kind of what happens, isn't it, when we try to ignore or, bottle up our feelings, especially stress.
Exactly. We think it's easier, maybe.
Yeah,
Or even that it shows strength.
right. But that pressure, it doesn't just vanish.
No way. It finds other ways out. Often ways that aren't very helpful at all.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling something pretty fundamental, I think, for navigating life a bit better.
Definitely. It's about why ignoring stress, ignoring those tough feelings, it just doesn't work.
And why learning to actually acknowledge them isn't just nice, it's critical.
Yeah. We've looked into, how our bodies and minds are wired for stress.
And the real costs, right? The cost of trying to just bypass all those emotional signals.
And maybe most importantly, some practical ways you can actually build that skill. Acknowledging what's really going on inside.
Connecting it to things like emotional intelligence, resilience, all that good stuff.
So our mission today really is to get past just knowing you have feelings.
Yeah, everyone knows that.
Right. To understanding the why engage with them, and then give you some clear ideas, things you can actually use from the material we've dug into.
Helping you lean into your emotional life, maybe turning some of that pressure into, well, power?
Something like that. Let's unpack it.
Okay, so first up, let's get a handle on stress itself. What are we actually talking about?
Fundamentally, it's our body's natural reaction system, built in.
To demands, threats. Could be real, could be just perceived.
Exactly. It's that ancient fight-or-flight response kicking in.
Ah, the tiger chasing you response.
Pretty much, when that system flips on, your body gets flooded with hormones. Powerful stuff.
Like cortisol, the main stress one.
Yeah, cortisol for the sort of longer-term readiness.
Yeah.
And then epinephrine, think adrenaline for that immediate jolt.
Right. Heart pounds, muscles tense, breathing faster. You're ready to bolt.
It's an incredible system.
Yeah.
For a genuine, physical emergency.
No, we don't live with tigers chasing us all day.
Precisely. That's the problem. The system gets triggered by that overflowing inbox, right? Or a tough conversation, money worries.
Everyday stuff, chronic demands.
And when that state of high alert goes on or gets triggered really easily, that constant bath of hormones, that physical readiness, it starts to do damage.
And, okay, add to that. Our first instinct, when those big feelings hit fear, anger, overwhelm, it's usually not, let me sit quietly and feel this.
Yeah.
No, our brains are wired for quick action in what feels like danger, not, deep emotional processing right then and there.
Plus, there's how we're raised, right?
Oh, absolutely. We're socialized heavily. How often did you hear shake it off, don't cry, look on the bright side?
Be strong.
Be strong, yeah. And those messages, even if they mean well, they teach us that pushing down negative feelings is like a virtue, strength.
Which is so backwards when you look at what actually happens. It really is. And over time, we get pretty good at these unconscious tricks to avoid feeling.
Like what? What kind of tactics?
Well, think about it. Endless distraction, right?
Mm-hmm.
TV, games, scrolling.
Guilty.
Or numbing out substances, maybe overeating, intellectualizing everything, keeping it all up here in your head, away from the messy feelings.
Or acting out something else, like yelling because you feel hurt.
Exactly. Or that classic constant worrying. It feels like you're preparing, like you're doing something productive.
But you're just avoiding the discomfort now, spinning your wheels.
You got it. So the core message from everything we looked at is clear. Trying to fake it till you make it, pretending those uncomfortable feelings aren't there because you think they're wrong or something.
It doesn't make things easier.
Nope. It actually makes coping much, much harder down the line.
And this bottled up pressure, it doesn't just stay quiet in the bottle, does it?
Not at all. It backfires. It costs you big time in multiple areas.
Okay, mental health must be a big one.
Huge. Constantly dismissing your own feelings. That chips away at your self-confidence. You end up feeling unheard, even by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And it definitely feeds chronic stress, depression, anxiety. Think about swallowed anger or resentment you just push down.
It doesn't just dissolve.
No, it festers. It grows under the surface.
And then there's the physical side. You said it's not just theoretical.
Not at all. That ongoing sort of low-grade stress from suppressing emotions. It puts a real strain on your body.
How so?
Well, research points to potential links with increased risks for serious things. Diabetes, heart disease.
Wow.
Yeah, it can show up as memory problems, chronic muscle pain, a weaker immune system, stomach, and gut issues.
So your body's still sounding the alarm, even if your brain's hitting ignore.
Exactly. The physiological reaction is still running.
Yeah.
And think about relationships, too.
How does it affect those?
Well, how can you have really deep, meaningful connections if you can't be honest about your needs, your boundaries, how things are really making you feel?
You can put up a wall.
You do. It prevents real intimacy and growth.
Someone even mentioned toxic positivity briefly, that pressure to always be upbeat.
Yeah, it fits right in. It's another way we get the message that difficult, but totally normal and necessary, emotions aren't acceptable to show or even feel.
Okay. So ignoring bottling up, clearly not the answer, leads to mental, physical, social problems. Which brings us to the flip side. Why is acknowledging feelings the key?
This is where it gets really powerful. The material really stresses this. Your feelings, they're not just noise. They are important signals.
Especially when things are tough.
Especially then. And learning how to actually feel your feelings, to pay attention, that's presented as a crucial skill. But it's when most of us just weren't taught.
It's like having a car dashboard full of lights, but being told to ignore all the red ones.
Perfect analogy. Feelings orient us, they're feedback. They can signal actual danger, sure, but also harm, loss, injustice, things that are misaligned with what we care about.
If we ignore the signals, we miss vital info.
Totally. About ourselves, about our world. And simply acknowledging how you feel, right here, right now, giving it a little space. That's the absolute first step towards being kinder to yourself and improving your mental health.
It's the foundation. You can't deal with something if you don't first admit it's there.
You have to see it first.
Okay, acknowledging is key. But how? That sounds kind of vague, especially when feelings are really intense. This is where those practical steps come in. You mentioned DBT.
Yeah, dialectical behavior therapy. It offers a really helpful framework for managing difficult emotions. And it introduces this idea of self-validation.
Validation meaning acknowledging what's real and makes sense.
Exactly. And the crucial bit here is learning to validate yourself first, not waiting for someone else to say it's okay to feel how you feel.
That makes sense. Otherwise, you're always looking outside for permission.
Yeah.
Self-validation puts you back in charge.
It gives you agency, puts the power back with you. So this framework has 6 levels, or you can think of them as different ways to practice validating yourself. They build on each other.
Okay, let's walk through them. Maybe use an example like, okay, long day, you're drained, stressed, and then ping, an urgent, complicated work email lands.
Perfect. Okay, level 1, pay attention. This is just mindful awareness. What are you noticing?
Physically, shoulders tense up, stomach clenches, shallow breathing maybe.
Yep,
Yeah.
and thoughts. Ugh, not now. This looks bad, I can't cope. And the feeling itself, dread, anxiety, frustration.
Right, just observing, like a scientist collecting data. Okay, neck tension, tight stomach, thoughts of trouble, feeling dread.
Exactly. That's level 1, just the raw data. Level 2, reflect back. Now you put words to it, summarize that internal experience.
So like mentally saying, okay, I'm feeling tense and I'm really dreading this email right now.
You got it. You're just articulating what you observed in level 1.
Okay, level 1, notice. Level 2, name it. What's level 3?
Level 3 is read minds, but for yourself. It's about acknowledging what might be underneath the surface feeling, using what you know about yourself, your past experiences.
Deeper stuff.
Yeah. Maybe dealing with tricky work stuff late at night triggers old feelings of inadequacy or overwhelm from a previous job. You acknowledge those connections, which we usually skip over when we're just reacting.
So connecting the feeling now to your deeper history or vulnerabilities.
Exactly. Then level 4, show understanding. This is where you connect the feeling to its cause in the present situation, making sense of why it's happening now.
So with the email example, it makes sense I feel dread. I'm exhausted from a long day, and this looks like another big demand when I have nothing left.
Perfect. You're linking the feeling dread to the context. Long day, tired, demanding email, given X, Y, and Z, it makes sense I feel A.
Creating that logical bridge. Okay, level 5.
Level 5, acknowledging the valid. This is a really powerful one. You see your feelings, thoughts, beliefs as valid and normal for the situation.
Like telling yourself what you'd tell a friend.
Exactly. If a friend felt this way and you thought it was totally understandable, what would you say? The key phrase is often, anyone would feel this way.
So, for the email, anyone would feel overwhelmed getting a complex work email late on a draining day. Feeling dread is totally understandable and valid.
Yes, you're normalizing it, taking the judgment out. It's affirming. This is a normal human response.
Okay, removes the I shouldn't feel this way part.
Completely. And
Yeah.
finally, level 6, Radical genuineness. This is the deepest level. It's about being real, kind, compassionate with yourself, accepting the whole experience without judgment, even the parts you don't like.
Total acceptance of what is.
Yeah. So with the email, it's like, okay, truth is, I feel totally drained and I am dreading this. This feeling is real. Pushing through right now isn't kind or effective. It's okay to feel this and need a break.
Accepting the reality without fighting it or criticizing yourself. And you said this whole thing comes from self-compassion, not trying to be perfect.
Absolutely. It's not about doing it perfectly every time. It's a practice.
Yeah.
But these levels give you a kind of map for moving from just having feeling to mindfully acknowledging, understanding, and validating it yourself.
And this skill. Self-validation, acknowledging feelings. It ties into bigger things, right? Like emotional intelligence.
It's fundamental to it. Research shows higher EI is linked strongly with using active coping strategies.
Like problem solving, getting support, actually processing the emotion.
Exactly. Rather than passive stuff like avoidance or denial.
Yeah.
So the better you are at understanding and managing your emotions.
The better you are at actually doing something constructive about the stress.
Yeah, it gives you more options than just fight, flight, freeze, or ignore.
Opens up the playbook.
Right. And another really interesting linked concept is the power of positive emotions and something called emotional granularity.
Emotional granularity, what's that?
It's basically being able to use specific, distinct labels for your feelings, both positive and negative.
So instead of just good or bad.
Right. You can say, I feel grateful or content or interested. Or on the other side, I feel frustrated, disappointed, anxious. You get specific.
Putting a finer point on it.
Exactly. And studies suggest that having higher positive emotional granularity, being good at naming different positive feelings, is linked to less mental distraction. And, interestingly, a tendency to pause before acting.
Huh. Why would naming a positive feeling help you pause?
It seems like having that more precise information about your internal state. Differentiating contentment from joy, maybe. It gives you a clearer signal.
A clearer picture of what's going on inside.
Yeah, and that clarity, that precision, it seems to create a little space, a beat before you react. And that pause allows for more deliberate, maybe more effective choices. Better coping, better health outcomes.
Wow. Okay, so bringing it all together, acknowledging feelings, self-validation, EI, emotional granularity, what are the ultimate benefits of leaning in instead of away?
Well, first, those better coping strategies we just talked about. Instead of a knee-jerk reaction, you create that space to choose a response.
More intentional, less reactive.
Definitely. And it directly builds psychological resilience.
That ability to bounce back.
Absolutely. Resilient folks, the research shows, tend to have higher positive emotionality anyway, and they recover faster physiologically from stress. Their bodies calm down quicker after something tough.
And you mentioned something profound about feelings connecting us to what matters.
Yeah, that's a really powerful insight. Often difficult feelings are just the flip side of something you deeply value.
Loneliness points to valuing connection.
Exactly. Or sadness often points to the value of something or someone you lost. Frustration might point to valuing progress or fairness. If you avoid the feeling, you might miss the clue about what's truly important to you.
So the feelings become signposts to our values.
They really can be. And finally, practices like mindfulness, just paying attention to your present experience, feelings, body sensations, without judgment, they're strongly linked to lower stress and higher engagement in life.
More vigor, dedication, feeling absorbed in things.
Yeah, which makes sense, right? If you're more aware of your internal world, you're probably better equipped to show up fully and respond effectively to the external world.
It all seems to come back to that core act, paying attention, acknowledging what is, even when it's uncomfortable.
That's the heart of it.
So our deep dive really shows that trying to muscle through, ignore stress, bottle things up, it's not strength. It's actually setting yourself up for a struggle.
Yeah, the real path to navigating things effectively seems to lie in that willingness and building the skill to acknowledge what you feel.
And it's not about getting overwhelmed or drowning in emotion.
Not at all. It's about developing the capacity to observe it, understand it, validate it within yourself.
And the good news is, this is a skill. It's something you can practice and get better at.
Definitely. Whether it's working through those levels of self-validation, even just starting with level 1, just noticing, or bringing more mindfulness to your day. These things build that crucial muscle of emotional awareness.
And remembering the why. This isn't just about feeling a tiny bit better right now. As the material shows, it connects to these bigger long-term benefits.
Right. being more resilient, coping better, having deeper relationships, even supporting your physical health. It's foundational.
Foundational work for living with, I guess, more awareness, more authenticity,
Yeah.
maybe more strength in a real way.
I think so. Real strength.
So maybe a final thought to leave everyone with. Consider this. If ignoring your feelings kind of keeps you stuck or maybe pulls you away from what really matters to you, what valuable insights, what connections, what possibilities might be waiting on the other side, if you just find the courage to acknowledge and feel what is,